Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of VCTV. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott, and we are going to be talking about Africa today. And we've talked about Africa for a number of times here on VCTV, but we're going to talk about some more of the rising opportunities as we've brought some investors from around the world that are focused and based within the region to share with us what they're seeing from their on the ground perspective, but also in general, how they're looking at Africa for an opportunity, either as investors or working with entrepreneurs as well. So, a lot to cover in this area today, and we've got some great speakers who we will be introducing here in just a moment. But first, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're liking what you hear, make sure you click subscribe, share the episode, and check out the archive on latoken.com to hear from today's speakers and all speakers of the VCTV family. And if you would like to be a speaker yourself, do reach out to the team and or me, and we'll find that right spot for you. Also, the comments box is open. Feel free to drop in any comments, questions. We'll do our best to ask them in real time. If not, we're all available 24/7, 365 online. A big thank you to the LaToken team and to Maria as well for making today's episode of VCTV possible. With that, I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. Let's go ahead and get started with all of our outstanding guests today with introductions. So welcome, everybody. Gary, I'm going to have you kick it off first. A quick introduction and background on everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. It's great to see familiar faces here. My name's Gary Fowler, and I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 companies, been involved in 2 unicorns, original management team at Click Software, sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I founded 5 years ago with Dr. David Yang out of Silicon Valley. I'm the CEO, co-founder, and president of GST Get Shit Done Venture Studios, premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Silicon Valley. We believe that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world and opportunities aren't. That's why we're working in places like Africa, like Southeast Asia, to be able to curate those companies using Silicon Valley as a port. And it's great to be here, Kyle. Thank you.
Wonderful, Gary. It's great to have you as well. Next up, Abhishek, I apologize. I had it already. I was in it. It had been practiced, and I screwed it up. But Abhishek, welcome to the show. A little background, a little introduction for everybody.
No worries, Kyle. I think you got it 90% right, and that's better than what most people get. So, and hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm Abhishek Mittal. I'm partner with a firm called Avishkar Capital. We started in India. We are what you call a quintessential impact fund. We invest in businesses which have a very strong impact thesis, which essentially, are creating positive impact for underserved communities. But we are a commercial fund in terms of, we have the twin objective of generating impact as well as generating commercial returns. As I said, we are headquartered out of India, but I moved to Africa to set up our maiden Africa fund around 3 years back, given that we saw that a lot of opportunities and a lot of the direction of the way these economies are moving are going to be following what generally Southeast Asian economies have taken, be the likes of India or be Indonesia. We typically invest in three big buckets. One is financial services. Typically look at financial inclusion as the key theme, where we'll work with companies that create affordable financial services products for people who are typically unbanked, be it savings or be it loans. The second big bucket for us is agriculture and allied services, where we essentially look for services companies that are, that help promote sustainable agriculture. And finally, what we call essential services, which basically create social infrastructure for underserved communities in a capital efficient but in a commercial viable manner. So you typically look at education technology companies, health tech companies, logistics technology, and just one last piece is that we realized that capital and technology are the two big levers that essentially can help multiply impact. Technology can really reduce cost for access, as capital makes as finance can make products affordable. So we essentially rely on these two levers to multiply the impact on the businesses that we invest in. And I'm really excited to be here tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you. Excited to have you as well. Kingsley, welcome to the show. A little introduction, a little background for everybody, please.
Yeah, good morning here. It's 1:20 a.m. here in Tokyo. It's good to be here again. My name is Kingsley Kobayashi. Sorry, I lost my voice a little bit today. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Kobayashi Group, and we actually invest in different sectors: healthcare, educational technology, traditional finance, digital finance, and a lot of other things we are investing in right now. We're also looking into power for Africa and agriculture, green energy over there. And we do almost everything. We structure businesses, invest in startup, and things like that. Sorry, my voice is a little bit gone today.
No worries. It was great. Thank you very much. We're happy to have you and honored that you would risk the voice that you are losing to share more with us. So thank you very much. And we're happy to have you. And last but not least, as we'll have one more, Mulu. Oh, did we lose him? Nope, he's right there. Mulu Kulu, Mr. Masaho, introduction, background for everybody, please. If you're still there, it looks like you might be frozen. Okay, so we may have him frozen, so we'll have him join here back in just a moment. Lionel, welcome to the show. A little introduction, a little background for everybody.
Well, Cal, thanks for having me. My name is Lionel Bernard. I am the founder and CEO of WePay, and I was born in Liberia, West Africa. WePay is my first startup, and we're currently in the pre-seed phase. Essentially, WePay is a mobile app targeting the unbanked in Africa. We're currently seeking, as I mentioned earlier, we're in the pre-seed funding phase, and we're offering a variety of services and financial features that are targeting the unbanked across the continent. I thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we're going to get to your presentation here in just a minute because we do want to hear more and we want to have you share that with us. But we have one more guest with us. Mr. Saho, are you there?
Yes, I am. Apologies.
Okay.
I'm currently experiencing unstable internet.
It's okay. We all are. No worries.
Quarantine.
You can just
can you hear me fine?
Yes, loud and clear. Oh, looks like we may have lost you. So no worries if you can hear me. Just no stress. Just come back when you do. But Lionel, you do have a pitch and presentation for us today. So I do want to get to that here in just a moment as we're going to be talking about Africa and all of the rising opportunities. So I'm going to have you bring up your presentation if you can. And we're going to go ahead and put 5 minutes on the clock, and you have 5 minutes to pitch us as investors, and we'll give you a quick feedback afterwards. And then we'll continue on with today's discussion. Are you ready?
The pitch is shared. Okay, there it is. It's online.
I got you.
All right.
So when you are ready, go ahead, sir.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. Well, thanks again, Cal, and others for having me on today. I know I have a short amount of time, so I'm going to try to run through this as fast as I can and impart as much information as I can. As I already told you, I'm the founder and CEO of WePay. I've been in the IT sector for about 30 years, initially as a software engineer, and more recently as an IT executive. Now, what is WePay? WePay, as I mentioned earlier, is a mobile wallet targeting the unbanked in Africa. We offer easy self-enrollment and wider acceptance by merchants, as well as many other financial tools that are convenient for our customers. And essentially, we intend to make our customers' phone their bank. So we enable our customers to bank easily and readily from their phones. As you may or may not know, nearly half of Africa's 1.3 billion population lack access to financial services, according to many estimates. And the reasons are many, primarily that a lot of unbanked within Africa live in rural areas where banks are not accessible, where banks are, even if they are accessible, they charge exorbitant fees. But on the good side, telecommunications, wherever you are across the African continent, you do have access to telecommunication services, particularly in rural areas. But the problems don't stop there as far as access. There's also problems with cash dependency. 90% of the transactions throughout the continent depend on cash. But there's a problem with that because cash is susceptible to being stolen. It can be lost. And as we know from recent experience, it can be used as a means of transmitting COVID. Essentially, this is an overview of some of the problems that sort of permeate financial services access throughout the continent. It is not unusual for many Africans to spend hours waiting in line to cash a check or to pick up a remittance. There's also problems with fees. If you go to a bank, the bank will charge you a high fee. If there are existing wallets throughout the continent, but essentially these wallets have limited features and don't provide the convenience and the utility that's necessary. Now, Felipe, how do we plan on solving these problems? There are three types of offerings that we're going to provide to our customers that's going to make us stand apart and help resolve some of the issues of access and cash dependency that most Africans are facing. The first is we allow our customers to sign up really easily. Whether you're in a rural area or village setting or even or near urban area, if you have your cell phone, you can sign up with an account through a secure KYC process within 3 minutes. We guarantee that within 3 minutes, you can sign up using your phone through our app with or without a government ID. So that allows our customers to on-roll pretty fast. The second thing we're offering is that we're borderless. There's a strong demand for cross-border transactions throughout the continent. Trade across countries, exceed billions of dollars, but it's very expensive to do B2B transfer or payments across borders. So we're offering the ability to do right from your wallet to do cross-border payments. We're also offering more acceptance by micro merchants. Using their wallets, our customers can purchase products and services from street vendors, and this is something that's limited currently in the market. So essentially, we're offering a lot of more services as well to our customers that our competition or the existing wallets in the market are not offering. For example, if you're a customer, you can apply for a card. You can receive government subsidy directly to your wallet. You can leverage also our saving tools, such as being able to buy and sell crypto, as well as engage in Susu. So we believe these are some of the factors that are going to differentiate ourselves in this growing market. The African market is growing significantly. Projections are that within the next 5 years, the growth in mobile money transactions is going to increase by 30% annually. So we plan on leveraging this growth. We're licensed to operate right now in Liberia, which is a small country in West Africa, but we plan on expanding into other countries, ECOWAS countries, initially within a 5-year period. We have a dynamic team in place, very competent local team that's ready to execute our strategy. Financially, we plan on onboarding at least 200,000 customers within our first year with our easy KYC and tripling that amount within 3 years. We plan on being profitable by our second year as well. We're currently seeking funding to raise at least 100,000 up to 500K within this first round. Thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Wonderful job. It was 5 minutes right on the dot. Great job, Lionel. You were all worried about it before, and you did a great job. Great pitch, and thank you for sharing so much with us as well, and appreciate it. Gary, let's start with you. Gary, if you have a question or two for Lionel or any feedback for him on his pitch as well.
No, I think he did a great pitch. I mean, I liked it. He was succinct. He's got the right kind of background. PhD from University of Maryland. I mean, he's got the right stuff, and it's interesting. We just came back from Nigeria, and the biggest hassle that we had is trying to get funds, trying to transfer money. So it's a huge problem, and it's if we look at it, there are 1.2 billion people in Africa. It's not a small market. It's a great opportunity. So no, I like it. It's interesting. And I didn't get the traction. I actually got knocked off for a minute. So I didn't get the traction, Lionel. Do you have any traction now, or where is that?
We've got a few things that are going for us. The first is we do have a license to operate as a mobile money provider, specifically in Liberia. It's a very difficult license to attain. It took us about 1.5 years. And eventually the central bank of Liberia was able to give us that. We also conducted, we've built a prototype of the WillyPay app, and we conducted a ground level survey. About 300 people participated, agents as well as customers within Liberia. And we found out there were a lot of problems that exist throughout the continent. I'm sorry, specifically in that market, as far as customer support, as far as ease of use, as far as the high fees, in terms of P2P, and as well as cross-border payments, as far as the limited features. So those are some of the things that we've done. We're also currently on, we're fundraising on a crowdfunding site, and we're gaining some traction there. But we're still in our infancy, and we're hoping to raise funds to start operations. The market is very ripe. There's a strong demand for the service, but there's a limited supply of really, really value-added financial services for the bank in those markets.
Do you have any traction though? Do you have any transactions that you're doing now, or where are you with it? Or is it proof of concept or what?
Yes, we're selling the concept mode. We don't have customers yet, and one of the reasons that we're raising funds is to finalize the development of our platform. Customers are waiting for us. Our team is on the ground. We even have office space there, but we're outsourcing the development of our platform to a company based in India, which has a footprint in Guinea as well as in Sierra Leone in terms of a white label solution there. And we expect a really quick turnaround within 3 months after funding to be on the market. So that's essentially where we are. We have a license. We have a great idea. The market is really ready. There are only 3 other mobile money providers in that specific market. And we plan on tapping into that, as well as expanding in countries like Sierra Leone, Guinea, as well as Ivory Coast, that trade extensively with each other. But all that is being done from a cash perspective.
Got it.
Thank you. Real quick, Abhishek, do you have any questions or feedback for Lionel as well? And then Kingsley, I'll see if you got anything, and then we'll continue on with today's conversation. So.
Sure.
Digital payment system is something that.
Kingsley, give me 1 second. Let's have Abhishek go first, and then I'll come to you next. So, Abhishek, go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle, and thank you so much, Lionel, for a wonderful presentation. So, being in Kenya myself, I've seen the transformative role that mobile money can play in literally driving an economy. Like today, M-Pesa is not just taken Kenya to a different level. It's become an incubator for so many startups that have built their startup upon mobile money. See, I like the space. There's no doubt about it. And pardon my ignorance, I don't know West Africa as well. We did have a mandate to earlier do Nigeria and in Ghana. And my understanding is that it's a fairly, I would say, it's become an evolved it's an evolved play in these economies. There will be a lot of plays. So, I would be curious to know that how you intend to work with larger trading partners, countries like Nigeria and Ghana, which will have dominant mobile money plays. But just one question from my side, is your platform bank independent, or do you have a tie-up with the bank, that one particular bank that you work with, or is it if I have a bank account, can I just tie up with your wallet or your platform?
Yes, to answer your second question, our platform is bank independent, meaning that we're not affiliated with any bank, but we have formed partnerships with all the banks, at least in our initial market, to do what's called open banking standards by API, to allow our customers to link their wallets directly to a local bank, for example, to do cash, to transfer funds to their bank account, as well as withdraw funds or top up their wallets from their bank. So these are some of the partnerships that we're looking at. On the question of the broader market for Nigeria, and by the way, M-Pesa is the granddaddy of all. That's the gold standard that all fintech operators throughout Africa look to, and we're emulating them. The Africa is divided into regions. The eastern region is much more advanced and sophisticated than the western region. In the western region, Nigeria and Ghana are far more advanced with Paga, with OPay, and some of those platforms that have come up in current recently. It gained a lot of traction, onboarded millions of customers, and offering a lot more sophisticated services. The smaller markets, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Togo, Benin, those are much smaller markets that have very limited fintech services. as well as very limited fintech providers. And most of the predominant operators in those markets are telcos, for example, MTN and Orange and Airtel and such. But their services are also, they're very difficult to use. They have USSD. The customer is required to dial, to type in a text message, to transfer funds. So everything is very limited and hard to use based on our research. So, this is where we're coming in to provide, a lot more innovation, a lot more convenience for our customers in those markets. So I hope that answers your question.
Oh, thanks, Lionel. It does, and good luck.
Thank you. Kingsley, any questions or comments for Lionel?
Yeah, first of all, man, I want to thank you for your presentation. You did well in 5 minutes. You said you are looking to raise $500,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's sort of our threshold as a pre-seed. We've done different financial models, and currently we definitely need to raise funds to finalize our product development. We should already have on the table requirements done. We're going to be doing aggressive marketing as well.
Okay. Personally, I am very, very much interested in payment system. It's one area I invest a lot. So why I'm asking this question is, I want to know how much you need all the way. Not to tell me, okay, you need 500,000 now, and after 3 months, you say you need another 500,000. What is the projection? How much do you need to finish the project? And then how do we get our money back from, okay, like payment system is very easy because of the unbanked in Africa. Especially when you look at a country like Nigeria, for example, you have 240 million people or above. When you join the whole West Africa together, we have almost 300 or 400 million people. So yes, it's a good deal, but regulations in Nigeria and other countries are different from Liberia. Liberia is a small country, so you have the license already, you can do it. So how much do you need altogether to make this work? Not the first phase, the second phase, or the third phase. Because this is what discourages we investors. Because if we put money now, we expect our money in 6 months, and if you tell us you need another 500,000, we say no. So how much do you need altogether, and then how do you break it down, the projection?
That's a really good question. I don't think anyone has asked me that, but it's something I've thought about extensively. Thanks for the question, Kingsley. Short answer is we projected our run rate within the first year as about close to $1 million or 1.1 million. And this is going to allow us to be fully operational, have our product on the market, have our strategy going on in terms of marketing. We plan to do extensive marketing, especially to Africans in the diaspora that send billions of dollars home every year. People have to stand in line to get that cash. Now they can get it directly to their phone and use it. So that's how our run rate is 1.1 million, or 1.3 million rather, for 1 year. Now we plan on generating revenue right off the bat from fees. So we're expecting to be profitable by our second year. So we're not going to need to raise any funds once we reach that 1.1 million mark to cover our expenditure, operating expenses, and development and marketing expenses for the first year. By the second year, we expect to start generating profitability of about 800,000, between 500 and 800,000 in profits by the second year. By the third year, we project that our profits should reach 3.5 million on 6.4 million revenue. Our customer growth, we expect to triple within the 3-year period, mainly because we're offering customers the ability to sign up themselves. Right now, throughout the continent, even with OPay, the business models should leverage agents, all right, which can be very inconvenient. If you want to open a mobile money account, you've got to go find an agent somewhere to open an account. You got to have an ID. We're going to curtail all of that by allowing our customers to sign up, within minutes, without an agent, without an ID. Their compliance limits how much they can have in their wallet and transaction limits if they don't have an ID. But that gives them quicker access to our services. In terms of our exit strategy, if you invest in our company, there are 2 ways you can get out. The first is we're offering equity. All right, for your investment, you get a stake in the company. Depending on the size of it, you may even get a seat on the board. The market is exploding. It's hard to get a license. So most likely we're either gonna acquire some other company and grow some more, or merge with some other company, or even be acquired ourselves. And that presents an opportunity for an investor to recoup their investment. Another option is that. Sure.
Lionel, I'm going to pause you right there. So these are all good things, but also just want to make sure we a lot of this we can probably take offline, which will be a good conversation for you and Kingsley and others to have as well. But go ahead and finish the last point, and then I do want to pause us there to continue the conversation around opportunities, because there's so much more, it sounds like, that's happening in the area. So you had one other point that I interrupted, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Okay, thanks for letting me continue. And Kingsley, again, I hope I've answered your question in terms of how much do we need now to get started, and also how much
you need you need $1.1 million, right?
Yes, we need $1.1 million to operate for 1 year. All right, and that'll allow us to market aggressively.
Okay.
It also even allow us to expand into Sierra Leone, which is right next door to Liberia. It's a virgin market. It's not as sophisticated as the eastern region of Africa. We plan on getting a license there, just like we get. But the thing is that once you have a license in one country, it's very easy to obtain a license. We're not very easy, but it's easier to obtain a license in other countries. We plan on expanding in Guinea. These countries form the Mana River Union, which facilitates free trade amongst them. And right now, all the trade is being done in cash. You cannot transfer funds from Liberia to Sierra Leone and vice versa easily. You got to pay an exorbitant amount to do that. We plan on facilitating that. And later on, we plan to expand to other countries, such as Ivory Coast. These has a bit more sophisticated market.
So Lionel, so sorry guys, I'm going to pause you both right there real quick, because we've gone way over time real quick. So why don't go ahead, Kingsley.
Just send me more information on my LinkedIn or my email.
We'll make sure you're connected.
Yes, sir.
We'll make sure everyone's connected afterwards. So we'll make sure, Lionel, you're connected with Kingsley, Gary, Abhishek, and others as well. So no stress there. So no worries. But definitely reach out to all of the investors today, Lionel, if you haven't already, to connect with them on LinkedIn and to continue that conversation if you haven't, to Kingsley's point as well. But I do want to continue the conversation. Lionel set us up very well for what's happening around Africa and different opportunities, specifically around the fintech and payment space as well. But Abhishek, tell us a little bit from your viewpoint. I mean, you're investing heavily in many different industries throughout the world, but specifically in Africa. What are some of the opportunities you're seeing that people need to be aware of if they're looking to make investments and or start building within the region? Oh, Abhishek, you are muted there. If you can unmute yourself, no stress.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm sorry about that. No, so in interest of time, I'll keep it quick. So see, Africa, nobody, everybody knows the last frontier, immense amount of its participation in global trade is abysmal, and this is where there is a lot young population. This is where Africa has the potential to drive world economic growth. So I wouldn't harp upon that, but I think a few trends that can really be critical going forward. I like one thing which which Lionel alluded to is that the intra-Africa trade is still very low. Africa trades a lot more with Europe and US than it trades between themselves, and businesses businesses that can actually capitalize on that. Now, we recently last year many of the countries ratified the AfCFTA, which essentially makes trade between African countries a lot easier. It's essentially probably one step move towards a EU kind of a movement. And I think businesses that can, essentially make payments or remittances or logistics and connect Africa better, this could be a huge opportunity going forward. And I personally will, and that's one area that we are quite excited about. As of now, we believe it's going to be a lot more regional, ECOWAS for West Africa, for example, EAC in Eastern Africa, or similarly COMESA for a larger southern region. But that's one opportunity we believe is going to be huge. And apart from that, I think Africa will continue going forward. Africa is the breadbasket of the world. A lot of the fresh produce which Europe and US eats originates out of Africa, and there is an opportunity to improve, to invest in agriculture and allied services, where you can where there is more you can essentially certify the origins. The term eludes me right now, but ability to be able to know that where your produce is coming from. And Africa, fortunately, the agriculture land, and this is largely my experience with India, has been that the land is still is much easier to certify organic produced land in Africa, because the land has not had the amount of pesticides and insecticides that we've seen in other developing economies. So that's another area which we believe could open up a huge opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Gary, to you, same question. I mean, what areas of opportunity are you seeing within the region of Africa and the country as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, the situation, the continent is just incredible. Like I said, there's over 1.2 billion people. And we just came back from Nigeria last week, and it was incredible, the kind of startups. We spent a lot of time with groups like AI Startups in Nigeria, a number of the groups. And I'm really it's astounded by the amount of companies there. But again, it's about getting that, connecting the dots and bringing that infrastructure out to the world. Like I say many times, it's like having a Ferrari in the garage. You got to take it out of the garage and you got to put it on the track, and you got to make sure you got the right drivers, et cetera. So anyhow, it's what I'm seeing is across the board. So we're interested in AI and quantum, but a lot of it's in agri-tech, a lot of it's in clean tech, those kind of things. So we're seeing that, but it's a explosive, interesting place. I mean, most people don't realize that Nigeria's got 200 million people, and then you can add, I think it's Ethiopia is number 2, coming out with over 100 million, and in Egypt at over 100. It's big. There's a lot of opportunity, and Lionel's right that the population, average age of the population is young, and they're looking to really change their lives. So let's create some jobs, let's create opportunities. Everybody wins.
Absolutely. And question: how did you get started in Africa? I mean, having not seen maybe not having been there or having any partners, what was kind of the first step to start investing within the region? Gary?
VCTV.
I appreciate this. I appreciate the shameless plug, but I mean, anything else that helped? Did you find a partner?
It's not a shameless plug. I met Stanley from Triodos and Philips, who's on the board of Philips, on VCTV, and then I met some other folks on some other panels that I've been on worldwide. And what happened is we just connected the dots, and then Nathaniel, who's on VCTV from Nigeria, met with my partner down there. We started setting up meetings. It's just the way it works, right? You want to have trusted contacts, and we got, and I've been fascinated in the prospects of it for a while. One of the board members of the NAACP is on the board of my company, Lamel McMorris. So, I mean, we've been working with the Black community in the U.S. and it just, I'm part Egyptian. I'm a quarter Egyptian myself, North African. So my grandmother was from North Africa. She's Greek Egyptian, but nonetheless, she's from that area of the world. So we've got some roots there. And I just think that it's untapped. And, when I went to Russia the first time, people said, oh, why would you go to Russia? Et cetera. But you go to places where other people aren't, that's where you can make the greatest opportunity. Yeah. And that's, we decided to go. We spent a lot of time, money, and effort to really cultivate the opportunities, because the same challenge that is in Africa as we have in the rest of the world is how do you go global? How do you get those contacts? And that's really where we're connecting the dots.
Right. Thank you, Gary. Kingsley, to you, areas of opportunity you're seeing within Africa, quickly as we come up to time here, before we come to closing thoughts, but what are you seeing in Africa?
Africa has a lot of potential. Fortunately and unfortunately, I was locked down in Nigeria early last year for about 4 months. And this gave me an insight to what they really need in Nigeria and other African countries. You have problems with energy. For the past 5 years, I've been doing waste to power energy now in Nigeria. We are looking at healthcare solutions, innovations. You are looking at logistics. You are looking at agriculture. The opportunities are just great, but the highest potential they have is the population. I live in Japan for about 30 years, but when you go to Africa, you go to Nigeria, you have a young population as opposed to developed worlds where you have an older population who cannot work anymore. But in Africa, you have a young, intellectual, versatile people who are willing to work, who have been going out of Africa to Europe, to America, to develop worlds to work. Now they are all moving back home because the opportunities they are numerous. Whatever you want to do there, as long as you put your money and you put your eyes in it, You got to watch it grow. You're not going to, okay, I'm going to let this Mr. B, Mr. C. No, if you watch your project grow, so personally, I will ask you to go into energy, go into agriculture, go into healthcare. Insurance is great because there is no insurance there right now. There is no, I mean, there's a lot of things that is needed, even good internet service. So a friend of mine is providing good internet service and he's doing very well. So there's a lot of opportunities that we can look at there. You just have to look and have the right partners. But what is important, don't go there to impose. This is where they have the problem, because they go there to impose. I know the president, I know the governor, I know the minister. So you impose on them. No, you have to work with the community. When you work with the people, you work with the community, they love you, they love your project. You add them, make them be part of the project that you have. Inclusive progressiveness is what we need. Not people just going there, okay, I have talked to your president, you must do this. They will go against you. So if you work with the community and include them, okay, we're going to have this year. One of your village guys is going to be a member of the board and work with them. You will succeed, definitely.
Thank you, Kingsley. And where can everyone find you to connect online afterwards to continue the conversation?
You can find me on kingsley.kingsleykobayashi.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Kingsley Kobayashi, or you can just Google Kingsley Kobayashi or any search engine, and you'll find my information.
Thank you very much,
Kyle,
Kingsley.
for having me again. It's a pleasure to be here. Gary, good to see you again.
Nice seeing you, Kingsley.
Thank you. And Gary, over to you. Where can everyone find you online to continue the conversation?
Yeah, you can reach me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Great to hear from you. This is a great opportunity. Africa's rising. Let's make the world a better place, and let's see how we can work together to create some incredible unicorns.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Abhishek, to you, where can everyone find you online to continue the conversation? Oh, you're...
I'm on LinkedIn, pretty much like everyone. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm not very active on other. I'm on Twitter, but that's mostly personal stuff. If you can find me there, but I'm also there on Avishkar Capital's website, and you can reach me through the Avishkar Capital mail ID as well. But I'm happy to share my email ID as well. It's abhishek@avishkar.in. So.
Wonderful. And Lionel, last but not least, where can everyone find you and your company online as well?
I'm pretty easy to reach. You can email me at Lionel Bernard, one word, at WleePay.com, WLEEPAY. If you look on the slide, you'll see my contact information as well as the website. It's www.WleePay.com.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much for sharing your thoughts and insights on today's topic. Again, all about Africa and what's happening within the region and the opportunities as well. Lionel, thank you for sharing your company and telling us more as well what's happening on the fintech and payments level within Africa as well. And to all of you for tuning in, thank you so much for sharing your questions, your comments, and again, watching us. Make sure if you like today's episode, you click subscribe, share. Also check out the archive on letoken.com to hear from all of today's speakers and more of the VCTV family as well. With that, a big thank you to the LeToken team and to Maria for making today's episode of VCTV possible. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. You can find me along with all of our speakers online 24/7, 365. Please reach out with context, where you heard us, where you met us, and what you would like to continue this discussion about as well. With that, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back here tomorrow with more VCTV. Everyone, have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.